Starting tonight, popular TikToker Mr.Prada is in jail in North Texas right now. It's a warrant out of Louisiana. He's accused of wrecking a car that belonged to a slain Baton Rouge therapist and then took off from police.
Terrion Thomas faces criminal damage to property, resisting an officer, and unauthorized use of a vehicle. Baton Rouge police say he is a suspect in the killing of a well-known Baton Rouge therapist, William Nick Abraham.
PBR Sheriff's detectives have charged Terrion Thomas with the murder of Dr. Nick Abraham. Thomas remains in jail in Dallas on a Baton Rouge Police Department warrant related to a police chase and crash.
There are many questions surrounding the murder investigation of a therapist in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. TikTok influencer known as Mr.Prada, whose real name is Terrion Thomas, was arrested in Dallas, Texas, Tuesday night.
The popular TikToker Mr.Prada is behind bars in Texas tonight on that warrant out of Baton Rouge.
Right now, he's accused of wrecking the car belonging to the murdered Baton Rouge therapist Nick Abraham.
Usually when we hear content creators committing some type of crime, we're so used to them texting children or promoting some type of pump and dump crypto scam. Rarely do we ever hear about them committing some type of cold-blooded murder. But that is the case right now for TikToker Mr.Prada, with an over 8 million combined followers on the platform, who is being convicted of murdering licensed therapist William Abraham. If found guilty, Prada could get the death sentence or possibly even life in prison. The craziest thing is, people on the internet are rooting for him and glad that he did it. Why? Well, there's a really large rabbit hole as to why Prada did it and a little bit of his history with Abraham in the first place. But first, I want to give a shout out to Nate Rerun on TikTok, because he really was the one who I got most of my info from. He did a super big deep dive into the entire case and giving extremely big updates on every single little thing. So after watching this video, please go check out his account and make sure to let him know that Blanco says thank you. So, and without further ado, let's cut the bullshit and get right into it. So first, who exactly is Mr.Prada? Well, real name Terrion Thomas. He's a TikToker who got pretty famous by posting some pretty relatable jokes over audios. You know, the ones about how school is boring and stuff. This basically was the majority of his content, and he got pretty big around 2022. Just kind of posting jokes over audios, you know, the stuff that you kind of mindlessly just scroll and watch. To be honest, I never really liked him because this guy shamelessly stole every single one of his jokes. It actually was a pretty big inside joke for a while that if Mr.Prada stole your joke, then you knew that your video was fire. There's nothing I really hate more than someone who tries to play off someone else's joke and video as their own. Like, it's different if you give credit to that person, like that's completely fine. That's basically what the Manny Show does, but he just tries to play it off as his own joke, which it's not. He's even been banned a couple times off TikTok because of this. So I never really liked him, but regardless, he still gained a giant following on TikTok because he would quite literally post like 8 times a day and also posted across like 5 different accounts. I think he's deleted a few of them because I think he only has like 2 right now. He was well known on TikTok because he posted so much, but he was also one of those content creators that was really only well known on TikTok. Like, if you never downloaded the app, you would never know who this guy is. But he overall still had a pretty decent fan base because he did have like nearly 8 million followers. He was just a dude posting jokes, trying to get some social media likes and some validation. Before that, I need to tell you guys about Surfshark, today's sponsor. Now, in the new digital age, one of the biggest issues that we all face is our data being vulnerable. Even connecting to public Wi-Fi is just enough for personal info like credit card information and passwords to get taken from you. Now with Surfshark, you get a VPN which encrypts your data to protect your personal info when using public Wi-Fi. Now many of us have gotten viruses after going onto certain websites that we probably should not have been on, which is why Surfshark will immediately notify you if your data has been compromised. Now I know you guys have seen a bajillion ads for companies just like this, so why Surfshark? Well, for one, Surfshark allows you to connect to unlimited devices. This way you can have Surfshark on your laptop, tablet, iPhone, everything that you need. And guess what? If you don't like it, you can easily refund the whole entire thing within 30 days and get all of your money back. So make sure that you go to surfshark.com/blanco for an extra 4 months for free. And now back to the video. Thanks, Surfshark. But around 2023, Mr.Prada noticeably just stopped posting, which is pretty drastic when you think about it because he went from posting 8 times a day to not posting at all. Across all accounts, radio silence.
Where did this man go? I used to see him every single day on my For You page, and then now I just don't.
Where he was, what he was doing, if he was okay, was like completely unknown. He would return in April of 2024, posting videos again, but seemed pretty off. In his since deleted YouTube video, he posted what would be a big cry for help. He started shaving his head with clippers and then started shaving his eyebrows. And throughout the video, he went on like these random rants about how life is a struggle and stuff. And it's like not really that coherent.
life is a mess, fuck this shit, like, I just cannot believe this is my reality right now. My life is hell, my life is a prison. Get me the fuck out. Like, I just woke up yesterday, I woke up yesterday, I looked at the ceiling, I said, ah! Fuck! I said, ah! Fuck!
And he also talks about how his life was a mess and wanted to start over.
It was almost perfect, but now I have to start over. I got to start from scratch.
So I guess that's why he was shaving his head or whatever. And a lot of people were really concerned because he was basically having a Britney moment right in front of the world. Like, coming out of nowhere and doing all of this is pretty strange behavior. And in a later video, he would later reveal that he was bipolar and dealing with this for like quite a while.
Y'all asking what I got? I got bipolar. I'm bipolar. Yeah. Y'all never seen anybody that's bipolar before? See, I was trying to hide it, but it just slipped out. It slipped out. I don't know.
So this helps explain why he was acting the way that he was. Prada did say that he was getting professional help, like going to a therapist and stuff, and also said that he was trying to eat more food because like that was something he was struggling with too. Behind the scenes, it also seemed like he was struggling financially like pretty badly. I guess TikTok couldn't pay the bills because all he did was post stolen content, and it didn't seem like he was in school for anything either. He apparently went as far as to start an OnlyFans to make some more money. There was a picture of him like in his underwear, like in a shower that leaked. I'm gonna blur that out, but like, just take my word for it, it's a real thing. That really is the most proof I really have of the OnlyFans, but yeah. Now, he would start posting on TikTok again, but what he was posting was pretty eerie. His videos were like all over the place, and he was just pretty sporadic. Like, for example, he would post 10 videos like one day and then go completely silent for weeks at hand, come back again, post 10 videos in a day, go silent for weeks at hand, and then repeat. However, over time, it did seem like he was getting a little bit better though. His hair was growing again, and thankfully his eyebrows grew back too, and he was posting his regular style of content and overall just seemed a little bit healthier and happier. That was until this year of October 1st when therapist William Abraham was found murdered. William was a very well-known therapist in the Baton Rouge area. Baton Rouge? I hope I'm saying that right. His body was found wrapped in a tarp near a ditch, and police released pictures of the suspects. And if you look at the pictures, you'll see it looked pretty familiar. The Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office on Monday night distributed photos of a person of interest sought for questioning in connection to the discovery of a Baton Rouge therapist's body found wrapped in a tarp and dumped in a ditch over the weekend. The agency said its detectives believe the pictured individual captured by store surveillance camera is the last person known to have been driving the vehicle belonging to the 69-year-old homicide victim, identified earlier Monday as William Nicholas Abraham. The TPSO said Abraham's vehicle was spotted Monday afternoon by Baton Rouge police, who attempted a traffic stop, but the driver of the vehicle sped away and ultimately escaped on foot after crashing the car, authorities said. Now, at first, people didn't think it was actually Mr. Prada, and it was just some guy who looked like him. I mean, the picture was like super blurry, and it was like impossible to tell if that was him or not. But at the same time, it did share a lot of the same features as Terrion. Tall, black, short hair. I mean, it was pretty reasonable. And suspicions were correct because police did confirm it was Terrion Thomas, aka Mr. Prada. And there also was an official warrant for his arrests. So this is allegedly how the whole entire thing went down. Abraham showed up to Mr. Prada's apartment on September 28th at 11 a.m. This is a Saturday. It was in the apartment that Prada allegedly then killed Abraham with blunt force using some type of sharp object. He then wrapped the body in a tarp, sealed it with duct tape, dragged the body downstairs from his apartment, and then put it in Abraham's car. He then stole Abraham's car and drove 60 miles northeast of Baton Rouge and dumped the body in a ditch. Now, the same day Abraham died, his black Lincoln was stolen as well. Of course, a guy named Abraham drives a car named a Lincoln. Sorry, bad time to joke, right? Now, the next day on September 29th, Prada drove the stolen car to a shopping center at Denham Springs and was caught on surveillance video. When they recognized the car and saw Prada leaving that car, they deemed him an immediate suspect and then released the image to the public. Now, the next day on October 1st, Prada was seen driving the car, and the police car recognized it and pulled him over for a traffic stop. Now, Prada was not compliant and tried to drive away. In doing so, he hit the cop car and actually crashed into a building. Somehow, he fled the scene on foot and got away from them. Prada then got his friend to drive him back to his apartment, and then he went to a bus station and took a bus all the way to Dallas, which is 6 hours away, by the way. So he was on the run. However, police did catch up to him pretty quickly, and they arrested him. Now, we know a lot of this is true because security footage footage confirms that Abraham was at Prada's apartment at 11 a.m. that day before he died. Witnesses say that they saw Prada dragging the tarp downstairs and said that he was very clearly struggling. When police found Abraham's dead body, they found the exact same clothes that he was wearing when he showed up to Prada's apartment, and when police searched Mr. Prada's apartment, they found multiple objects that did have blood on them, and they tested it and they matched the DNA to Abraham. So the evidence kind of speaks for itself here. Like, come on now. But there's a lot of questions that are still left unanswered. First of all, why was Abraham at Mr. Prada's apartment in the first place? Now, Abraham could have just been his actual therapist and was just simply showing up for a usual session. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but like, I'm pretty sure therapists like can come to your home, even though I know it's more traditional for you to go to their office. But there's actually a theory that Mr. Prada was an escort and Abraham actually was one of his clients. Remember when I said Prada was really down bad for cash? Well, apparently he was so down bad that he was actually willing to become an escort. In a conversation with one of his friends, he kind of like jokes about how like he's super desperate and is willing to become a stripper, which kind of seems like a joke, yet pretty quickly he somehow just has money to go shopping now.
Just know one of the most last convos Mr. Prada was having with one of his friends, this is how the convo went. I hate being an adult. All I have is bills, bills, and bills, and bills. I might consider stripping soon. I don't know. So now, getting into sex work, okay? Because that's what it is. Now, this was 2 days ago. I hate life. What you doing? Later, I'm going to the mall. Okay, he's going shopping. Where's he getting?
Now, one of the things that really did suggest this was the fact that there was a picture that leaked from Grindr of him wearing a specific kind of underwear. Now, this underwear is the same exact one that he wore in a different picture where he was promoting his OnlyFans.
What you mean Mr. Prada is doing OF as the concept? Mr. Prada went bankrupt and is on OF flashing and selling his millimeter defeater at an overpriced rate of $20.
And the location on the picture is the same where Prada lives, and it's very clearly like the same exact person. And when the caption says looking for older guys, that means that they're selling a service. Now, it is confirmed from various sources that Abraham was gay. Perhaps Abraham was booked for a session and shit went south. Now, there's not really that much evidence that proves this, it's all just pure speculation. But there's actually an even bigger theory that Abraham actually took advantage of Mr. Prada back when he was a child. You see, in 2015, Abraham was accused of inappropriately touching one of his younger clients. Sheriff's deputies Monday arrested a Baton Rouge therapist accused of inappropriately touching an 11-year-old client during a counseling session in early February. The boy told investigators that the therapist, William Nicholas Abraham, 60, groped him on February 3rd during a counseling session at Abraham's office on United Plaza Drive, according to a sheriff's office report. Now, Prada is 20 years old, and at that time, he would have been 11 years old too. The same age as the boy. Now, Abraham denied any of this happening and was never actually charged of anything and was let go. Now, even though I do respect the justice system, usually not guilty doesn't always mean not guilty. It's hard to prove cases like this because there rarely is ever any actual proof of like the thing happening. Plus, like, why would an 11-year-old really lie about that? But again, he was found not guilty. However, a lot of people genuinely believe this to be true and really think that Prada was simply getting his revenge. Hearing that Mr. Prada allegedly was essayed by his therapist, told police, and they did nothing, and now he's facing charges for killing the therapist is insane. People need to believe victims so they don't turn into suspects. That boy had been crying for help for months. There also was this eerie TikTok Prada posted a while ago that kind of hints at it.
He was a grown man and you were 15. Vanessa, you didn't ask for that. You were just trying to go to school.
And so many people theorize that all this mental anguish was the result of all this trauma that he suffered because of the grooming. A lot of people believe this because you know how fast a story can spread on the internet. I have no idea how true this really is. And Abraham's lawyer said that the boy who accused Abraham of touching him is not Mr. Prada. And this is a lawyer who does have access to the records, so I don't know. Regardless, it's not fair to say if this really truly was the reason or not. This is purely speculation and is probably unlikely. They don't share the identity of the child for privacy reasons, so it's unlikely if we ever will know. But what we do know is that Mr. Prada is completely fucked. Now, I do say he allegedly did it, but based on all of the evidence with the security footage, the objects, the evidence, and everything else, I mean, come on now. There even was a TikTok posted of him escaping the scene, and the exact same outfit he's wearing in that video is the same one he's wearing in the very last TikTok he posted, like, literally a day before that. So, I mean, Come on now. Now, initially, Mr. Prada was booked and charged with resisting an officer, aggravated criminal damage to property, obstruction of justice, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and second-degree murder. However, this charge was upgraded to first-degree murder, which is pretty serious because that means he can get the death penalty or possibly even life in prison. And listen, the evidence speaks for itself here. Like, it doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to solve this one. When I was on TikTok getting annoyed with this guy's videos and wishing he would go away, this is not what I meant. In hindsight, there clearly were signs of mental illness and extreme deterioration. And obviously, the main thing that's really determining the morality here is whether Mr. Prada truly was a victim at the hands of Abraham or not. If Prada was allegedly a victim, well, then Abraham got what he deserved. If Prada wasn't a victim, well, that leaves a lot more questions that are left unanswered. Why did he do it? I guess we'll have to wait to find out.